T-Man 978 Shill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now we're going to be looking at Fanstoys FT-46 Tesla 2.0, their second version of Transformers Generation 1 Perceptor. Here is this, if you can read that by pausing. There are some images right there. La-di-da. This on the bottom. This on the top. And there you go with that. Tesla comes with a lot. So much stuff, in fact, that they even numbered the bags. So I guess they probably put the different accessories in the bag and numbered them. And then put them together inside of the box later, making sure that they don't give you duplicates. So that's good. He comes with 7 optional heads and 2 faces to go into 2 of the optional heads. He has 8 heads if you include the one on his body. You get the credit card quality collector's card right here. Same bio, those are his tech specs. The instruction manual, of course. You get an optional chest plate if you don't want transparent. You get this gun right here, which is reminiscent of his G1 toy gun, but it has this extra sniper stand right there. So that's cool. Paint, same paint that's on his body. And then you get this other G1 inspired gun. Same paint that's on the body. This missile can actually come out of there, but it does not launch. So yeah, if it's not twisted the way you want it to be twisted, go ahead and do that yourself. Look at his eyes with the light shining right on it. I love it. Inside the packaging, the scope is actually not attached. It slides on right here. And as you can see right here, this blue paint right here, it's on that. It's on the legs. I'm not sure if it's actually on the arm. Yeah. I definitely know that's painted right there because this is all one piece. But pretty much the whole freaking thing almost is painted. This paint right here is like MP-36. It can scrape, it can scuff easily like the MP-36. So be careful, definitely, while you're messing with this thing. He is crazy heavy. If you have Robot Paradise Acoustic Wave, that's what he feels like to me. And yeah, he looks nice. He looks nice. And he feels nice, just like typical Fanstoys. It is nice and solid. I can do all that. Nothing's moving or rattling. It's good to go. The hands have the typical port system that they always have. So I'm gonna put the thumb out like that. You can do this and wrap the fingers around. And that's what he's gonna be working with as far as the gun. And yes, he's capable of holding that like that if you want. I was debating whether I was gonna talk about this, but in package, I don't believe this is actually hanging out. They kept this here because that's toy accurate and cartoon accurate. On the original G1 toy, there was a hinge right here, and this right here was attached to that, and it would lay out like in front of his crotch. But on this figure, they decided to not do that, so you can have ab articulation or a waist swivel that's ratcheted. And I have it already engaged, but he has an ab crunch. So if you want more ab crunch, you have to grab there, bring this forward, and he can crunch all the way forward. So there's that. And now I don't have to show that during the articulation segment. Let's get to these faces. Now you see this face, which is very cartoon accurate to me. Here's the back of the head. 3 screws on all the heads. This right here is actually a transparent plastic piece with the yellow painted behind it. So that's cool. To exchange the heads, you want to pull forward. You may have seen, yeah, actually MP-44 is the same exact way. You pull that forward and you just take the whole freaking head off. Let's start things off with his toy actor face. Right here. This is what the toy looked like. Here he is holding one of the guns. Yada yada. The crest of the head is actually shaped a little bit different. And there you go. Here's his neutral face. Here's his talkative face. I fear the wounds are fatal face. Stoic IDW. The helmet is different. You see it doesn't have like any coloring on the top. But he has the nice scope visor right there. So there you go. That the kind of happier talking IDW face. Super exaggerated anime screaming face right there. These heads are difficult to get off. Like they don't just pull off, they seem to be getting stuck. When I say these heads, I mean the IDW heads. There are two other face options with the IDW head. So I took the 3 screws out using a small Phillips screwdriver. And basically you take that off, take the back of his head off, and we can slide his actual interface out. And we can grab one of these and put that in there. And now here he is without the eye visor, without the targeting monocle. Here he is without that and kind of smiling and happy. They put a nice little area behind this glass to put a Autobot logo, but I can't find my Repro labels that has the white outline. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling his gut out and I'm detaching this from his body. Right here are 4 plastic points where I'm pushing on each one of those points, and it's pushing this forward. And by the way, this chest piece, all of this whole thing is solid die cast. Amazing. It just feels amazing and it looks amazing. But we can take that out, and here's what that looks like if you want him looking down into his chest, calculating some crap or whatever, like they like to do on cartoons. They could do anything on a cartoon if they wanted to. But now we can actually shut this back and take this piece right here, and like with that glass out, or the transparent plastic off, you can put the logo right there if you wanted to. But note, you would be covering the logo if you put this on. So let's bring this down, and getting this little dangly thing out, you kind of gotta like move at this or push it up so that you can grab it and bring it down. But there's that if you wanted them to have that solid chest. I guess that would make him a little bit more cartoony, and then you can put that right there. But I actually like the glass detail. Of course, for the slow people, you push it off the same way you push the transparent piece off. All that, and I haven't shown the articulation yet. I think I showed every accessory and how you do things. But the scope is articulated. It can be flat on the shoulder right there, and of course you can't look to the left. But you can lift that up. You can push it up like this. You can bring it down, whatever. You can slide it off if you want to. The head can look down that much, look up that much, and of course left and right. The shoulders. These caps right here are movable for transformation, but they also move out the way when you do this. They kind of flex out the way like that. If you wanted to go further, you can actually do that, and his arm can go all the way up. But just note that every time you move this arm, it's going to push that, and you have to adjust it. And of course it rotates this way. You get the bicep swivel and elbows that bend more than 90 degrees. The fingers rotate right here. You have a ball joint at the base of the thumb, and it rotates right there, and there is a hinge at the base of the thumb. You get 2 points on every single finger, and they don't spread out. And of course they rotate. I do not like the way that looks on the mushroom pig. And at one point, I think one of these hands was coming off and wouldn't allow me to transform it right. I showed the ab crunch and the waist swivel. You move this, and this right here, holy moly, I thought it couldn't move. It's so tight, but you can kick all the way up. Be careful with the paint, scraping up against this and these flaps. You can go all the way out to the side. It's only ratcheted forward and back. You get one single butt flap. You can go all the way back. Thigh rotation. Double jointed knee. Let's bend the bottom knee first. It looks like that. You get ankle pivot. The ankle actually comes forward. It goes back a little bit. So yeah, forward, ankle pivot and rocker. I love it. I hate when people call the pivot a rocker, but you can do what you want on your channel. If this is hard to move on your piece, make sure you push down as close as possible to the joint. Don't just grab the end, you might break something. This hinge right here, when you rotate the hand end for transformation, these are extremely tight on mine, so I think I'm gonna loosen it up right now because I have a hard time pulling that back out for robot mode. So there's that. But he is pretty solid. I like his articulation. It would have been cool if he had a ball joint in the neck. It's kind of frustrating if you want this look right here that you have to lift that up and put it up in there. But it is cool that they give you that as an option to put away. And you don't have to split it in half. You just either have it or don't. This is how much rotation you get if you leave that down. Or you can make him have an outie belly button. I can't grab it with my fingers. Trying to see anything else to complain about. I like the way it feels, like even right here. This is all painted, so you might have to worry about that depending on the surface you put it on. This is a soft surface, so I don't. But it just looks good, feels good. You know, up close the paint is like, has that sparkly effect through it, just like Acoustic Wave and their Huffer rig. This you can see in it, but you have to have light, definitely. It is very blurry, like a real microscope. Here he is with a couple of other season 2 guys I have in the room right now. Acoustic Wave, Spotter, and Medicus. Alright, transformation. I like the robot mode, remember that, so I don't have to rehash it at the end. First thing I'm gonna do is close the hands up like this, open this little door, rotate the hand this way, and shove it in here, right here, like that. Close it. These dials, by the way, are die cast. This one is plastic, but these are die cast. Same deal over here. Rotate the hand backwards, open the door, and shove the hand in here. Still feeling tight. But anyway, lift the arms up like this, close them, and these black caps on the shoulders can open up and go like this for now to get them out the way. Oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have cut my nails. Do that. Let's elongate this right here, and I'm going to pull on the sides to get this up there and rotate that inward. Now I'm going to bring that off, which gives us access to the upper body, which we need to pull away on both sides. Pull this away. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Pull that away. Now, here, we need to lift this up. Bring this straight up. And we can actually just rotate it. No. Here's what I'm gonna do. I didn't want to pull that off, but it came off. Bend this. All these joints are crazy, stupid tight. And that's what's causing half of the problem. I feel like I have to be super careful because everything is so tight. Now we can rotate that around. Bring this up to here. You don't have to, but I like rotating the head. This hinge needs to fully extend. Now we can bring this like this and bring that down to there, making it into that orientation where everything is flush. Only on this side, there is a panel door that comes out and shuts on top of the blue peg on the arm, like that. Now, right here, this comes in like that. Bring this in like that. Now with all of that oriented correctly, we can go ahead and lift this up and lift this up. And now let's put that like that. There's a peg here that goes in the side and a peg there that goes into this side. Once you do that, you're good to go. Good to go. Before we forget, I'm gonna just lift this up and bring the wheel down and bring the butt down. These side flaps, I'm gonna lift them up, bring the leg out to the side and rotate it like this. Now bring it up, bring this up, rotate it and bring it up like this. Here, we need to open or unpeg this and make it bend over and peg onto that. Then we can grab the whole thing and lift it up. This flap right here can unpeg and fold into that. Let's get that going on this side. Lift this up, peg it, lift that up. Take this right here, bend it, and fold it right there. Now, we can unpeg this, unpeg this, and there are two clips that are on the back of his thighs. We need to unhook that and unhook this. Once you do that, we have access to bring the hips forward. So I like to bend it that way and bring it that way. Basically, right here, we're gonna need to rotate until we get to the front up here. Once we kind of get into this orientation, we need to close this into that hole right here. It kind of moves, so you got to keep the leg straight until it pegs in. It seems like it's easier for me if I do this first, but you know what? I'm going to try to do that last for once. These clips right here need to peg in out of that little gap in between the joint, and the bottom one needs to go into the actual peg area. This part is actually tough to do, and that's why I'm saying it seems easier if I clip this in first, which doesn't want to happen. And I practice and practice and practice this, but this part is still hard to do. Got it. Whew. Once you do that, we can clip this into place. And to finalize things, we can shut this part right there. Keep that right there. Or it's still some more steps though. I said finalize. All right. Got that loose. Now we're gonna shift the leg forward. Rotate this like this while rotating this. I hope all that makes sense. I'm gonna grab this and shove, you know what? Shoving that all in and at once seemed to work better than doing it separately. Now we can shut this. This actually right here is the heel. It needs to rotate forward, rotate it forward, shut the foot. And now, honestly, the legs don't clip into the body anywhere. So while you're maneuvering and moving this around, you may have moved the joints out of whack. Basically, just get them even with each other. Aim this down. Bring these two pieces down. And you're done. Here's a freaking microscope. Now, one thing that's kind of frustrating, you bring this wheel down and you fold these out so these wheels are accessible, but they don't really help it roll or anything. So there's that. To make this function as a microscope, you can aim that down. You would have to have light shining directly on there to actually look in there to see anything, but you can turn this knob and extend that. And of course, you can do this in robot mode, but I wanted to wait till we actually made him a microscope. There you go. He is that big. He's this big next to Masterpiece Ratchet. So there you are. Here's a little video I put together with him and Soundwave. Look at me with my totally real devices. And that was official Masterpiece Soundwave, by the way. Okay, this guy has one more mode, but really he has two, so let's just get to that. I'm gonna push these up so it can get out of the way. Down here, here's what's gonna happen. I am going to engage the ankle pivot, and then I am going to elongate. No, actually, we have to pull this away because it's like pegged. Pull that away and lift it up like that to get that up out of there. And now we can grab this, bring the ankle pivot back, and now this becomes a peg that fits inside of here. There we go. Foot's already in the right place. Let's do that same stuff over here. Dislodge this, bring that up. Put this up here. And go ahead and put that in there. All right. Now we basically need to get the legs back into legs. Pull this open. Pull that open. These need to be up like that. Go ahead and get this away from there, get that away from there, and rotate this around like that. And we can dislodge that peg right there. So now we can shut this on that. Shut this right here and go ahead and rotate this so that the treads will be exposed. Unpeg this, get that into place, and bring that like this. And go ahead and bring the leg down like this and rotate it into this orientation. I'm gonna leave it dangling like this, looking horrible. But what do I need to do? We already got this kind of going. Dislodge it from there and start rotating this around. Peg that into where that can go. Peg this into here. Lift the treads up. And for some reason, this can rotate right there. I have no clue. You never need to do that. Put that where that needs to be. And now bring the legs down. Kind of bring it this way. And the crotch needs to shove down. And now we can bring this up like this. Go ahead and this actually needs to come back down. I'm getting ahead of myself because we need to start untransforming some things right here. We need to dislodge the arms from here. Lift it up and rotate. Lift it up and rotate. Now, it's going to be hard to grab this, so we might as well just go ahead and detach this peg and detach this right here. Come on, bruh. Things stay so tight, it's very hard to get this smoothly. But basically, this panel needs to bend on the double hinge and get into that orientation right there and come back down. And now we need to put this back how it was. Get the arms back in here how they were. Get this arm back in here how it was. And attach the pegs. Get that peg in there and get this peg in there. Sheesh. My editing, I hope it's not going to be crazy, but get this stuff back together. Now we can lift this and plug that plug into here and this into that. And then this into that right there. So it's like 3 separate, you know what? Let's plug this in first, then move it over there. 3 separate pegs all at once. So we're getting this in here, moving it up, and come on. Sheesh. And now this hole right here needs to go on top of this plug right there. So move that double hinge until we can line that up. And basically, it's in tank mode, but we can add these guns. There are pegs right there. Peg that one. Pegs on both sides. It doesn't really matter what side you put this on. Now he has 3 cannons. It has the wheels right here, but yeah. You know, let me lift that up before I say it doesn't roll. It don't roll. And we got wheels right here. They're not flush at all. So this is just for show. It's a tank. But here's something else you can do. You can go ahead and unpeg this. Slide this off. Put it back on this way. And I honestly think this is the only reason why you can do this. So we can get this mode that they don't even show you in the instructions. Unpeg this. And kind of bend this. And have it up a little bit. Kind of rotate the hips. And have it up a little bit. And now it gets even higher. This could be like the telescope mode that they had on the original toy. I went ahead and made it even higher up by twisting the hips. And now I'm going to take this scarlet right here. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to put it in this angle. And now, but you get the picture. The original toy was part of a line called Diaclone. I mean, not Diaclone, Microman. And they came with a little action figure that I think those action figures eventually became G.I. Joes. They used like the same technology, but now here we are with a bigger G.I. Joe. And if this could actually lift up higher, she could actually sit there like that figure did and man this cannon, or telescope. But yeah, it's nice that it has an extra mode because he's just a microscope and what you're gonna do with that. So being able to be a tank is cool. But this, if I have to complain about anything in microscope or this mode, this doesn't lock in. I mean, it's so heavy, it stays in a place so you don't have to worry about it. But it would feel better if that did lock in. Now, these legs in the official mode do lock in better than, I mean, they lock in, period. Because in the microscope mode, it doesn't lock in at all. It's just kind of loose, which I don't like too much. But it's not too much of a deal breaker because the legs, the joints are so stiff, everything stays into place. So it's not too much of a deal breaker, but yeah, it is what it is. Overall, him as a robot, love. Him as a microscope, love. I like being able to do this. The quality is good. I like the figure. Is it worth $250? I don't know. That depends on how much you like Perceptor. Like I said, it is definitely good quality, and you get a bajillion heads, and you get 2 guns and another chest option, and even more faces for the 3 other heads. So that is cool. But a year and a half ago, this guy would have been $140. So that $100 price hike is definitely sheesh. But the crazy thing about Fanstoys is that I seriously doubt the price drops on this. The price will probably get higher. So if you didn't get in there, you're screwed. That's how it works. I mean, eventually they're probably going to do a re-release. And I don't know. I wouldn't pay more than the $250 starting point, to be blunt with you. But I don't know. Everything is getting so much higher because of COVID and all the shipping costs and whatnot. It's hard to say whether it's worth it or not unless you feel like it's worth it. And for me, it was worth it. And I'm happy with the product. It's not riggedy, raggedy. It's not falling apart. It looks good. It looks very, very good. It feels good, like I said. And I'm happy with it. So, there you go with that. Thank you for watching this. I got this from Toy Dojo, by the way. I'm going to have a link in the description to their website. Until next time, T-Man978, out of here.
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click